back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, April 7th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have various social medias you can follow me on. I am most active on Instagram and on Ravelry. So if you would like to follow what I get up to during the week when I'm not recording, you can follow me those places and see what I get up to and when I post. I also have show note information, so all the links to things that I will be talking about will be linked on my blog and also down below if you are on YouTube. I also have a tech editing information. I am a knitting pattern tech editor, so if you know someone who is in need of a pattern or an editor for any upcoming patterns, I would love to work with you. If you'd like to check out the Graceful Edits tab, which can be found on my blog, or if you want to send me a message on Instagram, I would love to start a conversation with you. That would be wonderful. We have some catch up on some finished objects that I forgot about last time. This week, we've got some new finished objects. We've got some very close to being finished objects, but I just couldn't quite pull it out for this episode, but that's okay. We'll talk about that when we get to it. And just general fun knitting things to talk about today. Obviously, we're trying another new little angle. I'm on my phone again, so thank you to all who left comments about what I should do about my pictures. That was very kind of you. I appreciate it. Anyway, this is episode conversation. So if you'd like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, whatever it may be, I hope it is either bringing you joy and or rest, or I am helping you get through an unpleasant task because we all have them. I have laundry to be folding later today. So that's my unpleasant task, but that's okay. Anyway, you can do all those things, none of those things, whatever it is, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. I delayed having my iced coffee so I could have it while I recorded as a nice little pick-me-up, and the prolonging my caffeine intake has done a number on me. But that's okay. It is what it is, and hopefully this will remedy it quickly. So, my friends, hello. How are you? Yes, I'm in a long sleeve shirt today. Isn't that crazy? We had a brief little cold front come through, and that's all I'm going to say about the weather because this is not the section for it. Is there anything else that we need to discuss before I get straight into the finished objects? I don't know. I can't think of anything. So let's just get right into it. My friends, I have finished objects to show you, and they're all very similar. They've all been worn, so there is that. I have these two finished pairs of socks that I talked about 2 episodes ago that I was trying to get finished. I'll go into details on those in just a second, but I did finish Sam's Rodeo socks, which are just plain vanilla socks out of Night Owl Fibers. Nope. He has worn them, which I love. This cold front that came through was perfect timing, really, so I could give these to him and he could wear them. These are wonderful. He loves them, and I'm really excited about the things that I learned about these. Mainly doing the shadow wrap heel with the self-striping yarn and not even bothering with a contrasting color to not break up the stripes. I don't particularly care. Sam doesn't really either, so that's all that really matters. If he likes them, that's all I really care about. So glad to have these done. I call them my rodeo socks because I was working on them and started them when we were going to the Houston Rodeo sometime in March. So that was my rodeo project of choice. which I think is going to become a tradition every time we go to the rodeo. Anyway, so another finished object that I finished a couple weeks ago and I have worn are these Mermaid Avenue socks by Summerlee Designs. I believe that's actually what her designing name is, Summerlee Designs. So I used Hue Loco in an unknown colorway that I did not have the ball band for, and just some random dark gray charcoal for the toes and the heels. But I do like this texture. It's very fun. There we go. So the thing is about this pair is that I had started them forever ago and just did not have a good time with the texture and put off knitting the second one, but I still wanted the pair, and so I just powered through because of the wonderful motivation of knit-alongs. Knitting with fiber friends is always helpful, my friends. And so this was a good good motivator to partake in the I Love Books and Knitting Socks knit along that is being hosted by Earthtonegirl. It has to do with reading books and knitting socks. Surprise, surprise. This was a pretty, I think maybe my first pair that I finished with the knit along. So good motivator to get these done. And then I also finished, another thing about these was that I had to revisit how to do a heel flap and gusset, which is not a bad thing. I mean, obviously I need to know how to do that, and I do know how to do that. It's just that once upon a time I had those numbers memorized. I no longer have those numbers memorized, and it was like, oh, my favorite heel has been replaced. I don't have those numbers memorized anymore. I've got these new numbers memorized. Knitting humor, oh my goodness, I'm so funny. So next up, I did finish. These look so tiny. What is there? And I know it's because of the ribbing. It's just that they look so funny. These are, again, by Summerlee Designs, Summerlee Knits. Also out of Night Owl Fibers in the Let's Dance. It's either Let's Dance or Just Dance colorway. And then I used Knit Picks Stroll for the heel and Plucky Knitter for the cuffs and the toes. What is this pattern? This pattern is called Seafarer, the Seafarer socks. And yes, they do fit. And yes, it is on the tight side, but they do fit. And I have worn them and it works out just fine. And I have very mixed feelings with cables and socks. Like, I love the look of them. The thing is do I really want to commit to so much cabling on a pair of socks? That is really my big issue with these. I do love them. I'm excited to have them. Will I knit more cabled socks in the future? For sure. Will I regret my decision about halfway through? Probably. But I'll still love having them once they're done. So just keep that in mind. If you are unsure of any form of texture, just know you're going to have to do a lot of it for socks. Because, of course, you do one on one, and then you do it again on the second one. So anyway, these are my finished objects, plus the rodeo socks. All good things. Freed up a bunch of needles. It was all great. All good things. So, my friends, moving along to works in progress, which we will talk about right now. So there's just been a lot happening. You know, there's always a lot happening. And I just have a lot of knitting to share with you. I feel like I've made a lot of progress on a lot of things, and I say that and I've only got, the podcaster imposter syndrome. What looks like a lot doesn't feel like a lot, even though it is a lot. It is a lot. I'm not going to convince myself otherwise. I'm also distracted because my neighbor is like unloading her car. I think she has groceries and now she's looking at the garden. That's very distracting. I wonder if she can see me. Maybe I'm distracting to her. Maybe so. I'm pretty positive that she could definitely see me if she was paying attention. But either way, not part of this. That is not a work in progress. Which work in progress do we want to start with? Let's just start with socks because we're on that roll right now. So, living in this autumnal project bag because we love the autumnal life. We love the wintry life. Do we love the summer life? No, not particularly. That's just my opinion, and it's not my favorite. But I like having these autumnal, non-hot seasons, I should say. That's really what I'm trying to get at. I don't like the heat. So living in this bag are an experiment of my own. Kind of an experiment. They are just like plain vanilla socks with some striping involved. And I'm using a sock set from Kettle and Hearth Fibers. And I'm loving it. And I threw in some of that same blue from my Seafarer socks. This is Plucky Knitter yarns. And why is this an experiment, you might ask? If you are new here, you are probably very confused because I've just shown you some vanilla socks, and why would this be an experimentation? My friends, because I'm knitting on these on Magic Loop, and it is not my favorite. I have made progress. I chose to work on them. Which I'm sure if you're watching this and you're like, girly Q, if you're having a struggle to even work on them, is it really worth doing it? And I would say this is I want to do this. I really truly do. And I think it's silly of me that I need to like make it work in my mind. I don't know. I just need to get in a better rhythm of it. I just don't know. I haven't found the sweet spot, and I haven't found my true Magic Loop rhythm, if you will. Because I believe that's a thing. I don't know if it is. I'm choosing to believe that it is. And I haven't found mine yet. And that's okay. You know, that is the point of this pair of socks. I have promised myself and to you all are holding me accountable to knit both socks in Magic Loop. So yes, in theory, I could get another set of these ones and knit them both at the same time, which honestly would be really smart. Because I am pretty positive I'm gonna get to the end of this one and be like, why in the world did you not do this in tandem? You didn't like this. I need to do that. Anyway, I really like how these socks are turning out. Other than the Magic Loop aspect of them, I am doing great. I don't have any ladders. Like, I feel like I've figured out that aspect of it. I say holding back like you can't see. No ladders. All good. No ladders. All good. But we're doing things that challenge us, right? We're using the nice things and we're doing things that challenge us. So this is just, again, we're moving forward. We're making a little progress. It is what it is. I'm excited. I say I'm excited. Is excited truly the right word? I don't know if it is. I'm intrigued. I am interested and I am fascinated. That's better. Of doing a shadow wrap heel, my favorite, on magic loop. How does that work? I assume that it's very straightforward and it's really not that big a deal at all, but it's just, in my mind, I've never done it before. I don't know what it looks like. And I think it'll be okay. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it, but I'm intrigued to figure it out and to stretch my knitting abilities and my knitting brain. So that is sock whip number 1 that I'm going to show you. Sock whip number 2 is brand new to you all. And I did talk about it briefly last time that we spoke, but it wasn't cast on yet. So yes, I did cast on new things, but I finished the Rodeo socks. I finished other things. I had a pair of free needles. These are so cute. This base is so soft. Oh my goodness. Can we even without my friends? Can we even? Very dear friend of mine gifted me this skein of yarn. The yarn is Suburban Stitcher on the sparkle base, and the colorway is called Lucky You. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. I feel like I've gotten better at this, like, focusing situation with my phone. I say that as it is completely out of focus. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. It is there. We are both knitting socks, which is very fun. Again, going back to knit-alongs, make-alongs, whatever it may be, read-alongs with friends makes everything better. Makes things way more fun. We are knitting the Hibernal socks, once again by Summerlee. We do love to see her patterns, and I love this pattern, my friends. It has been so much fun to knit, and they're not cables. They're mock cables, which is just so much fun to do and to knit, and it just is so satisfying. It's a 4-row repeat. It's very easy to memorize once I got it set up, which took me an embarrassing long amount of time. I don't know why. It was a little embarrassing, and I was the only one who knew. And now you all know, and I'm telling you this. So if you have a hard time setting things up, especially when it comes to ribbing and patterns, you are not alone. We all do it. I was irritated with myself for not getting this right the first time. I think it might have taken me 3 times in total, but we got there in the end. Clearly, I'm just working on the leg now. I think my friend is a little bit further along than I am, but that's okay. I just love this. I love the base. It is so soft and squishy, and I think that's also due to the self-striping socks that I've been knitting nonstop, which I love. One of my favorite things of all time. Usually those bases are a lot more, stiff is not the right word, and crunchy is not the right word either, because it's yarn, and you don't normally describe yarn as crunchy, but I do believe that if you told a knitter that you felt like the yarn was crunchy, they would understand. And that's just how, or knitters or crocheters or fiber people in general, if you said something was crunchy, and I don't mean that in a bad way either, because sometimes I feel like that has bad connotations, but it's just a very like stiff, very high twist, high twist compared to this, which, not that it doesn't have a high twist. What am I even saying? Does this make sense? This feels much softer, really. It's very squishy. It's much softer. I really like it. I'm excited to wear them on my feet, and I love this colorway, and it's just very fun, and I love doing it with my friend. So this is living in a Crista Jaeckle bag that I love so much. One of my favorite sock bags, I think. And I do believe that it is correct. I'm not just saying that. Not just saying that to make a statement to fill space. I don't know. It's time for a coffee break. And then we'll come back and continue on talking about projects. So, I've worked on a lot. And by a lot, I mean a few projects, and I got a lot of progress on those few projects. But, my friends, did I have this? I definitely had this cast on, because I talked about how odd it looked not on camera, and then me holding it up to the camera, I was like, oh, I can see where this is going. This is all good. I'm losing stitches. This is not the time to be losing stitches. Goodness gracious. Whew. This yarn is so slippery. My friends. Misurina, my Misurina tee by Caitlin Hunter, or Boylan Knit Works. I am knitting this out of Sandusgarn Tin Line. Ooh. Which is, I believe, 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. Tin Line. I've never knit with this yarn before. I am loving it. It is a grand time. We'll be knitting with this again. I got this from a local to me yarn shop, which is Craftique Studios, I think, actually. Just right up the road. They have a great selection of a lot of different types of yarns, but I'm very grateful that they had this, so I could try it. And I'm very happy with it. I am just tootling along, and yes, the contrast is very low, and I do understand that it is a little hard to see these flowers, but I think it'll be okay. This is the vibe I was going for, and I feel like I have accomplished the vibe that I wanted. I will say, everybody, let's take a breath. We're gonna have a moment of vulnerability here and honesty, which is hard sometimes. I don't like knitting this. This is not a fun time for me. It has nothing to do with the pattern. It has nothing to do with the yarn, the needles, nothing like that. It is just an odd, like, the combination of everything has been a challenge. Let me say that. I would also say that if you are new to any type of non-plain sweater knitting, don't knit this sweater, because there's a lot of things going on all at the same time, and is very doable if you take it line by line. Very doable, but it's a lot to keep track of, and it is very challenging, even as someone for myself who's been knitting for a long amount of time. These rows, working through this chart, have taken me what feels like eons of time. It is not a quick knit. It is a challenging knit because of the lace, the colorwork, and the cables. All three of them don't happen at the exact same time, but you always have combinations of two of them, which is a lot. That being said, it's a very well designed pattern, very well written pattern. The yarn is great. This sweater will be glorious when I'm done with it. Actually, honestly, once I divide for the sleeves, I'm gonna have the time of my life. It'll be wonderful. It'll be an easy knit once I divide for the sleeves. And when I tell you, I was doing the math. I was trying to figure out how many rows I needed to knit per day to make sure that I had the sleeve divided for today to record. so I could just have a wonderful time of like showing it off to you all, then being closer to being done with it. Oh man, everyone, there's no way, unless I just worked on this all day, that I could even remotely get to those amounts of rows. And that was maybe 9 rows. That's not a ton. These rows just take so much time. And then you got the increases and the cables, and it's a very cute dog. Oh, dogs that are being walked. And it's just been a struggle. So again, great pattern, great yarn. Will be a great, beautiful sweater when I'm done with it. Just right now, it's not my favorite. So it is taking everything in me. It's really just taking this deep desire to have this finished sweater to get me to finish this. Get past the sleeve divide. That's all I'm asking myself to do, is to get past the sleeve divide. I have less than 15 rows at this point. It is so close. But I don't know when that's gonna be. It's just like the big gauge and the slipperiness of the yarn and whatever. I don't know. I don't want to discourage anybody from using this yarn or knitting this pattern. That is not what I am trying to do. Maybe don't knit this pattern with this yarn. Or you could just be forewarned that this has been not a travesty. That's a bit dramatic. It's been a little bit of a trial for me. This has not been the fun time that I thought it was going to be. And I don't like saying that because, again, it's not what like I want to, I'm not discouraging anybody from knitting this pattern or using this yarn. That's not what I'm doing or want to do or communicate. So please don't hear that. It's just the combination that I chose. I very willingly chose, not knowing. It's a bit of a challenge. So keep that in mind. If you want to knit this, yeah, I'm so excited. So excited to wear this. So excited. I'm also very happy with the amounts of yarn that have been used so far. This is still skein number 1 of my main color. I only have 2 of these, including this one. And then this one, there's plenty of this. So I'm sure it'll be fine. And very easy to get more if I need it. So this is the Misurina tee by Caitlin Hunter. That is not the bane of my existence, but once I get past the sleeve divide, there will be much celebration. It will be fine. It will be fine. I'm so close. I'm so close. I also, like, it's one of those things I can't easily knit on and not look at, and that really bothers me. Which is like ridiculous, because not everything has to be about that. Not everything has to be fast. Not everything has to be like time efficient, I guess. Is that what I'm trying to think of? I just need to slow down more with this. This is teaching me. It's trying my patience, which is already pretty high. This is testing a very specific point of my patience. And we're gonna grow from this. We're learning, we're growing. All good things. But man, this has been rough. So, vulnerable, honest moment over. I feel bad talking about, like, negatively about projects and patterns and things like that, but also it's just kind of funny. Like, it is just the decisions I have made. I brought this upon myself. This is no one's fault but my own. and it is what it is. So I have accepted it. It is my lot in life, and I can't wait to wear this finished sweater. So next up is a test knit that I've been working on. I have currently 2 test knits going, one of which I didn't really work on this week because I've been really in the summery tea mindset, and you're gonna see why. I've obviously talked about one. I'm gonna talk about this one, and then we got a whole new one to talk about. But the other test knit that I've been working on, just not as much this past week, is the Analogous shawl. I got it right. I remembered, and the hand thing helped. Oh my goodness, the Analogous shawl by Shanalines Designs that I am test knitting for her. I'm using handspun, and because things are finishing up and moving along, making progress as they should, the shawl will come back into rotation soon, but that deadline is pretty far in advance. It's next month sometime, so I'm not worried about it at all. But it's a very nice pattern. We have some travel coming up soon, and I think it'll be a nice travel project, so that's something to look forward to. The second test knit that I'm about to show you is my Avenue Tea by Tori. Ba-bam! And I'm very excited about this. I'm so excited. My friends, look how much progress I got. That's a lot. That is a lot. Could it have been more? Maybe, but it is still a lot. I'm in Body City right now. I'm just tootling along. I have a few more inches to go, and then I can finally cast or finish it off. I'm so close. And yes, the deadline is very close. It is coming up fast upon us. Or it is, yes, that I said that correctly. Yes. But this travel that we're getting ready to do, I would like to have it done before then so I can have it, so we can take pictures. I can take pictures, finished object pictures for this test knit while we're traveling. That is really the ultimate end goal. So the Avenue Tee to go along with the Avenue vest, which I did not test, but I did knit it, and I love it so much. Is great. We have this great shaping of the shoulder. This is the best way to show you. There we go. It fits so well. That is one thing. Oh, hello. Did you come to join me? Sweet boy. One thing I was talking about with my mom recently, of just like, we have a handful of designers. There's so many amazing designers out there, but there are a handful of designers that their patterns just fit so well. And Tori Yu's patterns are definitely fall in that category. Like, I've not had one that has fit badly or not how I wanted it to or whatever. They're just so well written. They're well designed. There's a lot of size options. There's a lot of like customization options as well. So I'm excited to have this. I'm knitting this out of Heathered Handmades Merino linen sock in the Eucalyptus colorway. Ba-bam. Look at me go. I got that right away. That's awesome. Hi, are you interested in helping out today? What's up? What's up, sweet boy? What's up? And yeah, like I said, I just have a few more inches on the body, and then I can finish that up, finish the sleeves, do the neckline, and then I'm done. All good things. So I'm very excited about this. I know it looks a little small right now, but I know that once I give it a good soak, everything will kind of relax and stretch out and all that kind of stuff, and it will fit how I'm expecting it to, how I have planned it and envisioned it in my mind, so I'm not worried about it at all. But I'm really excited, and I just feel like, my friends, removing my progress keeper, I just feel like I'm really in this summer tea, summer top, spring top vibe. That's all I want to work on right now. Which makes sense because those are the seasons that we're going into. Like we, here in Houston, which is where I live, by the way, if you didn't know. Here in Houston, we very rarely get much of a spring. It's really just like little odd forms of winter and then straight into summer for the majority of the year, and then maybe a little bit of winter, and then we go back to summer. And that's like really what we get throughout the year. Does that make sense with the timeline? No, but like hopefully that makes sense. Within the span of the year, we only get 2 seasons. That's what I'm trying to say. 2 big seasons. And so the summer top vibe, situation, opportunities are significantly higher than wintry sweaters. And goodness knows, I love to knit a good non-summery sweater. As I am off to do, as I am doing currently, and I will continue to do for the rest of my life. But I feel like this year, for whatever reason, something has clicked in my brain and I'm just like, I need more summery tees. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to up my summer top game options. Hence the Misurina, hence the Avenue tee, and then this new one, my friends. I'm getting ready to show you. We talked about it briefly last time, but it hadn't been cast on yet. And my friends, when I tell you I tried my darndest to get this done today, to show it to you all and say, I did this in 2 weeks. I tried so hard. But the pressure that I put on myself just became too ridiculous, and it was not worth it. It was too stressful for whatever reason. The self-imposed deadline. Silly. Not worth it. So it's almost done, my friends. All it needs is the armhole edging and the little straps, and it's done. Done. And that is the Tolsta tank by the Crayabea. And yes, we're in a stripe mood too. All the stripes. This has turned out exactly how I had envisioned it, my friends. I am so happy with this. I just, so satisfying. I am just over the moon. And I say that and I haven't completely finished yet, and I haven't worn it yet. But I am about 95% certain, 98% certain this is going to turn out exactly how I wanted it to. Oh, everyone, I am so excited. So this was done as part of the make-along that Maker and Stitch, which is my mom's local yarn shop in Edwards, Colorado, and I have adopted them as my local yarn shop as well, even though I am not local. They are my favorite, and they are wonderful, and I love them dearly. They are hosting a make-along currently. I'm not sure for how long it's running, but the rules of this make-along is that you use Ito Kinu, which is 100% silk yarn, and you purchase it from them. You make whatever pattern you want. You just have to use their yarn. And last time I looked, they had colors. I know that it was selling out quickly, but that was a while ago, so I don't know if they've gotten more in. I would check out their website if you're interested, because it's a great yarn. I'm so excited to be knitting with this, to get to wear this. Oh, my friends, when I tell you, like, I had this image in my mind of what I wanted this to look like. I don't have like a striped tank top like this really at all, or that I've made. Now I have both. It's out of this beautiful 100% silk yarn. And all I have left are the straps, which are probably going to be in the navy, but I honestly don't know. That is another funny thing that I want to talk about this project. So I have just been tootling along, and loving every minute of it. But there is one thing that I will say. When you knit with plant fibers, granted, any yarn can get tangled. Any yarn is very, very likely capable of getting very tangled, depending on how you treat it and what you do with it. I don't know what it is, but there is something about me and silk that is just like, if I breathe the wrong way, this thing will fall apart and become the most tangled mess I have ever seen. If I look at it too long, if I breathe on it, if I move my foot while I'm on the couch too differently, it'll wiggle and get tangled. And so this project has literally just been living on the couch. It's not been in a project bag. It's been out. It's been just sitting in its one singular spot because I'm terrified to move these balls of yarn lest they become tangled. I say that, and I have brought them over here to you to show you that how much yarn I have left, which is really great. Honestly, I know that like yarn chicken is a real thing. I won the yarn chicken for the body, and I'm pretty sure, I'm positive I'm gonna get the straps one way or the other. I just don't know how exactly. And yes, so I am holding this navy. This is navy, by the way, if you couldn't tell. I know it looks like black, but it is truly navy. Everything's been held double, and I'm knitting the 4-ply Tolsta tank square neckline version. And by my calculations, I was just barely under the yardage requirement for the size that I'm making, which is size 3. So, which is falling in line to what I have in my hands. I'll notice how delicately I'm holding them. Lest they get tangled. I had 2 of the white and 1 of the navy. I've been holding both of these together. I've been pulling from the inside and the outside for this one because I only had the one, which is totally fine. I did wind them up for my cones that I got. That was an adventure. Not my favorite thing, but it needed to be done. We survived. It was all okay. And yeah, so I'm just gonna figure out what I'm doing for the straps and the armholes and whatever. I want this so badly. I want this to wear on this upcoming trip. I want to have this for the rest of forever, really, but I'd like to have it done for this upcoming trip, just because. So I am excited about this. This has been an adventure. And yes, like I said, I wanted to try have it done to show you all finished. That yes, if you put your mind to it, you can truly finish a little tee, a tank top in less than 2 weeks. which I know that's not reality for everybody. I'm really surprised that it was reality for me, honestly. But there were some setbacks yesterday while I had finished the front. Oh no, I had finished the back and I was working on the front, and I was already more than halfway with the front. I honestly don't remember. At some point I was supposed to switch directions for the front, but I thought that it was going to be exactly the same as it was for the back, and no, it wasn't. And that's on me because I assumed that they would be the same, but they are not. So keep that in mind. Also, my friends, this is not written to be striped. This is the beauty of this pattern. If you go on Ravelry or on Instagram and look at the hashtag, you can see all the beautiful versions. Be so inspired of everyone's creativity, of how they've made it truly their own, whether it's with color, with yarns, whatever it may be. I did a bunch of studying. I figured out what I wanted to do for my stripes, and that was 6 of the white and 3 of the navy. When you're knitting in the round, not a problem. When you're knitting flat, that was a dumb choice because I needed an even number, so I'd make sure that I was gonna end up on the same side every single time. But no, I didn't think about that. I was just thinking about how I wanted to look and the aesthetic of it. So my friends, if you are ever planning a striped garment that's not written to be striped, doesn't have stripes written into anything, or any stripes in anything, and if you have knitting flat involved, make sure everything is in even number, just so you end up on the same side, so you don't have to break your yarn constantly, which is also added to the yarn chicken stress. It's been handled great. I'm not horribly mad about it. I'm more irritated than anything at my own, like, not thinking about it. But everything's fine. Like, I wove in my ends as I went. You really can't see it. Obviously, it's going to be on the inside. It doesn't really matter. I am proud of myself of how short I made these little tails and how I was able to make it work. And everything's woven in, all ready to be trimmed, and yeah. So could it have been better? Could I have planned it out a little bit better? Yes. But the fact that I am making something that I had exactly in my mind, I'm going to take as a win, regardless of my failure to stripe this correctly. The stripe still worked out. So, I mean, I'm so happy with this. It has been a joy to make. I'm so excited to be able to wear this. I already have so many outfits planned in my mind. I'm honestly thinking about this or my Misurina tee to be part of my Easter outfit, because why not? I've done that in the past, of having knit items. I think actually it was the test knit at one point that I had planned for my Easter outfit one year. It works. It works because it's really hot here. And I love it, and I'm so excited. I'm so happy, my friends, and I wish everybody can experience this, not just once, but hopefully at least once in your crafting lifetime, but hopefully more than once, of just having some project work out so perfectly. And even though you run into roadblocks, and even though there are things about it that don't go the way that you had planned, you still manage to make it work. That is just such a satisfying feeling, and it makes you feel so good and competent and accomplished. I just hope that everybody gets to experience that project joy at least once. Hopefully way more than once, but hopefully at least once in your lifetime, in your crafting experience journey, I should say. But anyway, my Tolsta tank by Rebecca Clow of the Crista Designs, and she has a podcast. The yarn is Ito Kinu from Maker and Stitch. They are hosting their make along. Go check them out. Go check out Rebecca's other patterns. Another one that I am not questioning the fit or anything like that. I know it's going to fit me well because this will be my third Tolsta tank. I haven't done this neckline yet, but I'm excited. I'm very, very so happy with how that's turned out. So what else do we have to talk about? Those are all my works in progress, my friends, that I have worked on this week, the past 2 weeks. I feel like there may have been other things and I am forgetting them, but oh, there was a pair of things, a pair of socks that I finished but I forgot to bring over, but that's okay. That is fine. They will be talked about next time. I have sock plans, of course. I have things wound up. Do I have any sweater plans? I really need to pull out some other things because I did pull out. I remembered for some reason Instagram decided to give me a bunch of Stromboli tees, which is another pattern by Caitlin Hunter. I have one cast on, which I cast on last year sometime. It's a great summery tee. It's knit out of Mayak. I can't remember what's in it. It's a very nice fiber content. It's a little woolly, very lightweight. Maybe got some silk and linen in there as well. Very nice. Purchased from Maker and Stitch, which they still have a lot of that as well in different fun summertime colors. I need to work on that, and it's currently not on the needles that I was using for it, and I need to find those needles and put them back on, put those stitches back on the needle so I can start working on it again. But I'd like to, in theory, potentially finish my Avenue tee first, because I'm so close and I really need to get it done because I'm behind. But that's okay. I'll get it done in time. It'll be fine. My yarn amounts are doing great. I'm very happy about that. So, yes. All good things. All good things. Anyway, I think that's all that I have for you all this episode, this week. I hope you all are doing well. I hope your crafty plans, whatever they may be, I hope that they're very successful. Yes, we're just plugging along, making socks, making summery tees, making sweaters, all the things. Getting excited, wanting to cast on all the things. Not that I'm not able to, but choosing not to. Let me say that. I'm choosing not to, even though I want to. But we'll get there eventually, slowly but surely. We'll work through things. We'll make things. We'll move on. Happy things indeed. And yeah, that is all that I have for you all this week. And I feel like I have just, everything has completely left my brain of how to finish off this episode. So social media information. I have tech editing information, and I have show note information. If I have forgotten anything, or if you have questions about anything, or if you just want to say hi, please feel free to leave a comment or to send me a message on Instagram. I would love to say hi and chat with you. Thank you so much for everyone who comes back again and again. Thank you so much for the comments and the likes and the subscribes. If you haven't done that already, I would really appreciate it if you did at least subscribe. If you enjoyed this episode or previous episodes, the YouTube algorithm is a tricky thing, and doing something as small as liking a video or subscribing can actually really go a long way in helping get these types of videos out to other wonderful people such as yourselves. And I would greatly appreciate it. That would be wonderful. And to do that for other creators that you like as well. There are so many other people making content other than just crafting content. And again, likes and subscribes go a long way when it comes to that. So keep that in mind when you're watching your favorites. We do all appreciate it. I have lots of crafty plans. I'm gonna finish some things. I'm gonna feel really good about it, and I'm also going to get through that sleeve divide of the Misurina tee, and it's gonna be amazing. And like I said, there will be much celebration. When that happens, hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but it will happen soon. It will. Anyway, my friends, this episode will come to an end. Thank you all for being here. You are wonderful. You are enough. Good luck to whatever crafting plans that you have, and I will see you all next time.